horror fan to HHN 365, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. My name is Duff, and I am not with any of my usual co-hosts this week, actually. I would be alone if I didn't have our friend who covers Hollywood quite a bit. Of course, as usual, John from the Hotline. Welcome back, John.
Hey, happy to be back and happy to speak Orlando and Hollywood. I'm excited for both coasts.
Get them both in. And I mean, one of them has a lot of action going on.
That's true.
I mean, both probably do, but we concede on one coast. So.
Yeah, I was going to say technically both. Yeah,
we're going to talk about one of them a lot, specifically right now. But after you follow us on social media, that's Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at HHN365, or TikTok at HHN365pod. If you want to join our Discord where we talk HHN year-round, that link will be in the description. We have a merch shop at HHN365.com. And if you want to leave a voicemail that will play here on the show, that is 407-906-4134. And John, if you want to share yours before people hop off by the end of the episode.
Yes, of course. At the Hotline on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube.com/the Hotline. We're technically also on TikTok, but I never post there. So follow us if you like. But I should get back to it and follow both of us right now. Even if you're driving right now, do it.
Right now.
Right now.
If you die, it happens.
Send a voicemail right now.
Dial slowly. Look at the phone. Don't look up at the road. I'm kidding. Don't die. That's a listener gone.
We do not condone that. Please.
But yeah, so on today's show, we will be talking about the 2 spec maps for Orlando and Hollywood, of course. I guess that's really our main segment. That's about it. But we do have a lot of stuff to cover before we get there. And that's pretty much, I think, all in Hollywood, because that's construction season, baby. Things have started to rise. As John Murray would say, wood has risen, because it truly has. It truly has.
The wood rises, brother. That's my bane.
Ooh. I liked it. Felt good.
Don't encourage me, Dub.
But since we've last talked to you on an episode here, I actually wasn't at that last episode, but since anyone's talked to you on an episode here, actually 3 house locations have gone vertical. So that's going to be H Lot North. The Jurassic World queue actually just happened today as we're recording. And then also the T-Pad as well. So I think an interesting thing to note here is that the tents all include AC vents. As you know, yes, last year was a huge thing when Terrifier had AC vents added. It was Terrifier, right? I'm not going crazy.
Correct. Yeah, it was Terrifier.
Yes. And I was like, ooh, nice addition. That should happen to every house every single year. Well, guess what? As of now, the 3 that have gone up have AC tents. AC vents, I mean.
Yes, yeah, and it's such a nice change because that means that gone are the days that we're going to be there opening weekend in 90-something degree weather, dying, and the poor scare actors also dying. Everyone's just melting. So thank you, HHN gods, for allowing us to have some air conditioning.
It just took that opening weekend, what was it, 2 years ago, where you guys just melted?
Oh, God. That was the true horror. That was the real horror, my friend. Truly, walking through the Texas Chainsaw House, that was the scariest part. It was so immersive. It felt like you were in Texas, and I don't want to be that immersed. Please, never again.
Too immersive.
Too immersive. Stop. And those poor performers, those poor scare actors, shout out to y'all. Thank you for being in there in your masks and in your costumes, slowly melting. You guys are the real ones.
I bet they lost record numbers that opening weekend.
Yeah.
People yeah, I'm not coming back. Fuck this.
And I'm sure people were getting sick left and right, man. So I'm glad they're doing that. Sure. That is one of my favorite things about HHN Orlando is walking into those houses and having that sweet, sweet AC hit you, slap you right across the face. And now we get that experience here in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. So with Jurassic World tent Q tent just going up today, obviously it's kind of just the tent, nothing additional beyond that. So not much to say there. However, we do have things to talk about on the other 2 locations. First, I think we can start over let's do H Lot North.
Cool.
Because they've recently, I believe just yesterday, was that today too?
Both days, yeah. Yesterday a little bit and then more today.
Yes. So actually has a full kind of facade structure rising. It's very house build-esque, like a house facade kind of look to it. Got the frames coming out from front supporting it. It's kind of this big square or maybe rectangle, I can't fully tell, rising up to nearly the top of the tent. And just some open space around it.
Yeah, we were talking about how like oh yeah, maybe it's going to be a small facade, but with the addition today, it's like, oh no, this is going to be pretty big. I'm talking
Mhm.
maybe matching the size of the Terrifier facade, which is pretty exciting. I love to see it.
Yes, I'm very excited. It looks like it does have this like main feature on one side, but it should extend across as well.
Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to that. Always love a nice big facade.
And honestly, I'll give Hollywood a lot of credit for this. They have been stepping up their facade game. I think they've heard the
Mhm.
complaints about the flat facades, like the one that they did for Hill House, where it's just kind of a poster. I'm
Mhm.
glad that they have been stepping it up because it's the first thing you see before you enter the house. So it does give you an air of excitement that I think was missing before, or perhaps wasn't being like highlighted as much. So thank you, Hollywood, for stepping up the facade game. You guys are the real ones.
Keep it going, please.
Yes,
Please.
please.
Now moving on to T-Pad, where we have a Kevin theory we can discuss finally. I love a
Hey.
Kevin theory. Technically, it's one we've already talked about, and it just kind of happens to fall into this location here. So T-Pad did go up, and it actually went up immediately with something that looked familiar. Outside of this one piece, it is the very standard T-pad tent layout, it would seem. But right up on kind of where the entrance of the house would be, there's this tarp cover over the top where, let's say, Killer Clowns has used previously to mask its tent facade. Um, well, beyond it just having that masking it, TLEV also got a great look from the tram tour, and you could see a little bit of red and yellow under that tarp.
Yes, you can. Mr.
So,
E with truly the magic timing that
mhm.
he was also blessed by the HHN gods getting a nice little sneak peek at that. What timing, truly.
Yeah, that's really impressive, and also kind of, I don't want to say it leaves no doubt, but it leaves like basically no doubt that
Yeah.
this theory is likely correct.
Duff, you've met Kevin in person, right?
I have, yes.
I still don't believe you that it's not actually just John Murdy.
I mean, you have to take my word for it. I don't know what to tell you.
I think maybe he fooled you wearing like the classic sunglasses with
Hmm.
the nose and the mustache. I
That
think
that could
I
be
think
it.
you
That
actually
is what
met.
Kevin looks like, actually. So, now that I think about it, and he was kind of tall and lanky as well.
And he was using a cane. It was interesting, like
And
the
he was
one
speaking in a
from.
very fake Irish accent. It was really weird. I just thought
Oh,
that
Duff,
was
nice to meet you.
I thought that was like a local accent in LA or something. I didn't know.
You've been bamboozled, man.
Wow, John, how could you? But yeah, shocked to say, it does seem that Kevin's theory already looks correct. Just to point out, Kevin's theory was officially posted on February 19th.
Crazy,
So
man.
well
Crazy.
ahead of the game. There has been a lot of talk after that of it's probably more coping than anything. But what if they're just reusing that look for like a Jack vs Hollywood Harry?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Or also they mentioned on Just Jess the other night, the the live stream, that it could be like Oddfellow, which Oddfellow in California, I know it was very divisive on your guys' live stream, but I dig it. I like it. But I think we are at this point reaching for a miracle.
yeah. Also, more of a miracle. So Kevin slightly took offense to people not buying his theory. So he then also, and if you want to go to our Instagram page, that we actually have a full post breaking this down with like photos of scenes and everything. So they started to lay out the floorings. That kind of shows off what the scene layout will be, right? So Kevin looked at this and found 10 scene examples that are laid out exactly the same as they were from Killer Clowns in 2022.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Which is,
listen, I love
uh,
I love coping. So if you want to pretend that means nothing, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
whatever helps you sleep at night. I think that's what you should do. And
Exactly.
if that's what makes you feel good about Hollywood, then congratulations. I will unfortunately be staying up all night, wondering when we will get a big change in leadership in Hollywood so that we can stop repeating houses and get something original and fun like El Artista or anything that
I
Orlando
mean, I was
does.
gonna say baby steps. You don't need to go that far. we just
Sure,
need to
sure.
we
Okay.
need to not
Graveyard
repeat
games.
houses.
Anything. Literally. Please. Seeds of Extinction. Anything.
Hell block horror.
Hell, I will take Hellblock. I will happily take Hellblock.
Okay, if you say so. But yeah, so that is the construction currently in Hollywood. It is fun that two of them have already given us quite a bit to talk about. One of them kind of confirming a house that's coming, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But excited to see. Jurassic World's kind of tough to see what's going on until later on, I think. But whatever, more tents will rise. We'll see soon.
More tents, more wood. I love it.
It's that time of season.
Yeah, baby.
Am I missing anything in Hollywood? I don't think so. I think it's weather right now.
Yeah, I think that's it, friend. Air conditioning is in. Repeats are in. Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool. We shall move on to our main segment where we're going to talk about spec maps.
Hey.
Love it. And this spec map, I guess this is technically version 2, but it's the third time they've released spec maps for this year. So it's really getting to the point where everything truly has a more detailed image associated with it. So we kind of have a better idea of what they're talking about. Since we just started with Hollywood talk, let's go to Orlando so we can hop back and forth.
I like it.
Spread it out a little bit. So let's talk about a couple of these images that have remained exactly the same. I think the easiest way to do that is starting in the Fast and Furious house location because it has the same exact logo, which is guts that are dripping blood, which, of course, everyone is assuming is HR Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
So the return of a character that we have not seen in Orlando outside of a anniversary appearance previously at HHN 30, but not seen in his own house since 2011. So
Wow.
been quite a bit. Someone everyone's wanted to see come back, and they're insinuating it is time.
I like it, man. And it's fun to kind of jump into the Orlando fandom right now because, like, there's a lot of things that I thought, like, oh, I missed this and I'll never be able to get to see it. Then we got a little peek of HR in the anniversary house, and now the thought of him having his own house this year is really exciting for me, who is very new to the event but is obsessed with the lore. So I'm excited to and plus I love the campy TV host. I mean, we wouldn't have Not Scary Farm without a campy TV host. We wouldn't have haunts as they are today without Not Scary Farm and that campy TV host. So I love it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. You say that you're new to this event, but honestly, you're probably kind of a veteran in Orlando at this point.
Okay. All right. I'll take it, man.
I would say the vast majority of people who attend this event won't know who HR Blood and Guts is, even if they are like big fans of the event. Like, because like the more casual fan, like they like the event, they remember everything, they look forward to it. They don't know the history before their time.
Sure.
So I think this is going to be potentially a huge opportunity to really reinvigorate the Blood and Guts love and bring him to this new era of Horror Nights fan. Because I think he could resonate really well.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's exciting to hear or to think about there being like a whole new generation of fans of this character. And again, this is one of my favorite things about Orlando is that they take time to create original characters and they grow them, they bring them back. Hollywood, take note, people love it. People love it. And I think it's fun to have these recurring characters come back because it's good for old fans. And to your point, Duff, for new fans as well.
Mm-hmm. And selfishly, I would just like them back regardless. So I don't.
Well,
care.
there you go.
The other impacts. How about that? The curious thing is, how did they bring him back? Is it just so? If you don't know about his past, so his previous house was about holidays. He was presenting separate holidays, And I don't think they would take that route again. It would have to be something different, even though his whole shtick was being like the old like local TV horror hour host. Like that's his thing. But I feel like they'd have to separate the content just a bit, right? A lot of people are immediately going to, what if this is just the anniversary house and they take like the past originals, most likely from the past like 5 years or so, and did a mashup house with HR Blood and Guts presenting them. And I think that makes a ton of sense, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure, man. The HHN Eras tour, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, exactly. Because I feel like it's not really on the map specifically. I don't know if I buy there's not just an anniversary house of some sort. Like just a
Right,
straight
right.
up mashup. Here's our houses that you might have missed or that you'll like to see again.
Exactly, and we'll get to it later. But they have a zone that's kind of themed to
Mm-hmm.
the 35 years of HHN Orlando. So it would make a ton of sense to have a house based on that too, especially considering like in the 30th we had that. I mean, it makes a ton of sense to kind of throw back to the mazes of old. I mean, hell, even Knott's did it with Chilling Chambers. So I think this is a given. And if not, I'm still excited. But if not, what a wasted opportunity. But I think I think we're onto something here. I think the fandom's onto something for sure. All the fog breathers, they're onto something.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, let's move on. That's a lot of HR Blood and Guts talk about something we don't even know if it's coming yet. Um, so I'm realizing there basically is all the same, just some with more details. But we're going to keep moving in the same direction. I think that makes it easy. So in Sprung Tent 4, which is one of the new Sprung tents where Fallout would have been last year, we have the match, or I'm sorry, the lighter and cigarettes. This is exactly the same as it was, same location as the last spec map. Highly speculated to be Sinners.
Which, oh man, if this one comes true, brother, I am so excited. I'm so
Yes.
excited for Sinners to hit the park, and I think it would be a great addition. I know that there's been theories about this maybe being oh god, it just came out hide and what is it? Hide and seek? No. Is it? No.
Mm,
Um with Samara Weaving.
oh, Ready or Not?
Ready or not, ready or not. Yeah, yeah. Cuz she does smoke a cigarette in the first movie, and in this second one,
Mm-hmm.
her sister joins, but her sister does not smoke a cigarette in this, and it's also, I believe, a Fox film, which is Disney, which means that there's probably no chance in hell that they would ever agree to be in the event. However, I think Sinners has a great chance. Somebody commented, "How do you make a house in IMAX?" On the live stream. I thought that was really clever. But yeah, man, and just the idea of having Ryan Coogler make an appearance at the event and like see this house in fruition. I hope he goes to Orlando. I think it would be really cool to have that collaboration, man.
Hmm. Yeah, it's again, I'd be super excited. It'd probably be my most hyped IP for sure. I'd have concerns because it will be tough to pull off. It's
Sure,
not just
sure.
like an easy home run of a house. Like it's going to take fucking work and getting it right. But I believe they can do that. I fully believe they can do that. So I'll be very stoked. I think there's a ton of fun imagery we'll get in this house. There's some pretty large scale scenes they could have fun with.
Yeah.
Uh, and just a bunch of chaos in some of those scenes too, which would be great.
I'm getting chills just thinking about walking through the juke joint. Uh, oh, especially if they do like the big scene, the big reveal where it's like all the different eras of music coming together. Truly, like I know that if they do that, they're gonna nail it, and I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move on to Sprung Tent 3 right next door here, where on the last spec map, it was the Dancing Skeletons, which was kind of the last hope for people of Lady Gaga coming to the event this year. That has now been fully removed from the map, but a different image that was previously in the sound stages has moved over here. That is going to be like, I guess the green egg and ham with like the pins in it. Is that what it is? Is the ham? Or is
Yeah.
it a roast beast? A roast beast, maybe?
Yes, yes. I think it is the roast beast.
Okay, it's a roast beast.
Who
Very
wants the
leftover.
gizzard?
It is left over from the Christmas spec map, so yeah, I had to figure this one out. But it's obviously in reference to Hellraiser with the pins. It looks pinheady. Yeah, it's been rumored that for a while. Just happened to move over to Sprung Tent 3 now.
Yeah, this one is one of those where it's like it keeps coming back. So every iteration of the map where it's around, I'm like, okay, I think we've locked onto something here for sure.
Yes, and this was, I say officially, like rumors are official at any point, but this kind of was officially came out as a rumor in October. So this is our oldest rumor of the year for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's a given at this point, and I'm still not very familiar with the franchise, especially once we start getting closer to Halloween. I'll have to watch like a couple of the Hellraiser films, but I like the imagery of Mr. Pinhead, and I
Hmm.
think they could probably do some cool things with it. Yeah, this one has me curious, but it's definitely not one of those. It's like gonna be high on my list to check out. I think I will run to Sinners. In fact.
I will say, if you watch again, only watch the first two. A couple is perfect. That's all you need for likely what would get in the house. But I
Okay.
think if you watch them, you'd be more excited for sure.
All right. All right. Good to know.
I do think similarly. Ooh, that was tough to say for some reason. To Sinners, it can be tougher to pull off. Um, the world, especially once you get deeper into the series, is a bit more fantasy esque.
Okay.
So, I think scenically it could be tougher to pull off if you want to actually match what would make this a fun house. So,
Sure. Sure.
could take some work, but could also be really fucking cool.
Nice.
Also, very sexual franchise. So,
That's right. Yeah, that
you
Hot
know,
House maybe this year's. No, no, no.
eh,
I like what the stream said last time that Sinners will be the Hot House, and I agree.
yes. Yes. All right, so now let's move on over to Sprung Tent 2, where we actually have a sort of new, an enhanced version of an image that they've provided on a previous spec map, which was just like a paw. Just like a paw, like a dog paw. It kind of
Yeah.
looks like the Naughty Dog logo, so people are like, ooh, Last of Us 2. No. They've now enhanced this a bit. So it's going to be a cage with the dog paw kind of like embroidered on front of it now. Um, However, they've added a lot into this cage, and it's basically the best way to describe it is someone being roast over an open fire like a pig, and the person that's roasting them is wearing like a bear head.
Yeah.
Oh, and I say dog paw. It definitely looks more like a bear paw now, by the way.
So interesting. Oh yeah, yeah. That's a bear paw. I had to look it up because I just wanted to be sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
that is definitely a bear paw.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah, it's giving like cult vibes. It's giving I don't know. Maybe they are giving the HHN bear finally the the religious treatment that
There
it's
we
been
go. Yeah.
seeking.
The
It's the
deity,
cult of the
HHN
HHN
bear.
bear. Yes.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing they're trying to invoke on us here is probably cannibalism. I
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
say, right?
Right.
A human is being roast, so yeah. This leads a lot of people to immediately jump to Jungle of Doom, which was a house in the early 2000s, and it was kind of shoved under the rug because the way it depicted native tribes was very,
Oh.
yeah, exactly,
What year did
offensive.
you say it was? 2002?
2000, I think 2001.
Okay, yeah, well that
No,
checks out.
2002.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
checks out.
2002. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. All right. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, um, so yeah, they've swept that under the rug until during Oddfellows icon year, funnily enough, HHN 32, there was a scare zone where they dropped the whole native and cannibal aspect, and it was more about just the jungle itself, right?
Sure.
So
But
I
this
wonder if this is just alluding to it being Jungle of Doom, and maybe the contents of it aren't so cannibalistic.
right, right. But I don't know, man. This doesn't exactly give me Jungle of Doom. At least maybe I missed something walking through the scare zone, but it doesn't give me that vibe entirely. The bear paw is the thing that I keep focusing on and the bear head.
Hmm.
Because like there wasn't any of that in the Jungle of Doom scare zone, right?
No, no, not like that. Jungle of
Yeah.
Doom Scare Zone was definitely more just a jungle
Right.
with,
Adventure, vines coming
yeah,
to life, the
yeah,
crashed
and like
airplane.
kind of mutated animals.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if that's what this is specifically, but with the tie to Oddfellow, I can definitely see them kind of going in that direction.
Hmm.
But it is the details are just so interesting. They're so like oddly specific, but yet not at all.
Hmm. Now, I will say I wanted to bring that rumor up first because I kind of lean that direction because I think it makes a ton of sense with Oddfellow being involved this year.
Right.
Um, However, there has been a longer standing rumor that people are tying to this, even though I don't think it doesn't fit as well now that they've changed it up. But kind of like zoo, cannibal animal zoo, something along those lines. A lot of
Gotcha.
people, I think, honestly, the majority of people are sticking with that one.
Sure, sure.
And
I
I
mean,
think Cage maybe still leans
right,
into that.
right, yeah. Or I'm thinking where my mind is going now is like more like Fiesta de Chupacabra, where they're idolizing the chupacabras.
Hmm.
This one, or even like Galkin, something like that, where like they're idolizing something, and these are like or even Blood Moon, right? Like that's what it's
Hmm.
giving me, where it's more like culty. The bear worshippers are coming after the humans, and they're like capturing
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think
I mean, this could go any direction, really, and that's the fun of the speculation season,
isn't it?
baby.
It's so fun. It could also be nothing like this at all.
Absolutely,
It
yeah,
could
we
just
could.
be wrong.
Right, totally, totally.
Um, but yeah, yeah, I'm curious to see where this one goes. Very curious. And I do want to note that originally this was in a soundstage and now has obviously moved to Sprung Tent too. So
No,
uh, that'd be very different builds for sure.
yeah, for sure.
So now Sprung Tent 1 to round out the Sprung Tents, we have an image that we've had before. It simply moved over from Sprung Tent 2, and that is the alien wearing what appears to be a cowboy hat.
Yeehaw.
Simple as that. And everyone's jumping to cowboy aliens. And I think that's slightly evolved into more specifically Invasion in Lightning Gulch.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's cool.
Um, if you weren't aware, Invasion was a scare zone at HHN 27. Lightning Gulch has been featured in the house twice in Ghost Town. Or I guess, no, it was only Lightning Gulch, I think, technically in 26.
Ah,
But Ghost Town was also a house in 2004 as well.
interesting. Yeah, I like the combination of the two. I'm a sucker for cowboys and I'm a sucker for aliens. So the just the thought of the combination has me really excited. And I've kind of seen the Western elements that Orlando can bring. Definitely last year, Hatchet and Chains made me feel like I was at home at Not Scary Farm. They did a great job with the Western town. So I think the combination of the two could be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And I do like the tie into the HHN lore there. So yeah, that could be pretty fun, man.
Mhm. Now, here's the only thing for me that I don't fully buy into a Western. We literally just had Hatchet and Chains last year, which was a full on Western.
Sure, sure.
And not only that, literally in the house location they currently have this speculated in, um, would be interesting for them to. They rarely double up like that on an exact theme, and
Okay.
especially westerns. They do pretty infrequently. So, like, what if this image is correct, but less western and more just like country? What if it's just aliens on a farm?
Okay. That is pretty fun
Something like
too.
that.
Yeah, crop circles going
Hmm.
through the hay. Yeah, I can see that, man. Farmhouse aliens, that's pretty fun.
Yeah. And I think give me invasions, an alien house in some way. Another thing we don't really get a lot. So let me see it. What can you do?
Yeah, that's true. I dig it. I dig it either way.
So let's move over to our sound stages now, where of course we do have a few more images that we've had before. We'll start over in 24A, where it is going to be the upside down grandfather clock.
What could that be?
Moving on, obviously that's referring to Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Hopefully not just season 5. Hopefully it's kind of recapping the season one last time before they say goodbye forever. I mean, listen, I'm not upset about it because I've always just kind of expected it. I knew this was going to happen. I
Sure.
told myself they're going to finish out the season or the series. I mean, so I'm not shocked, but I also just want it to be over.
And maybe it will be finally, Duff. Maybe this will be finally the time that Stranger Things leaves the event. But I mean, it is a huge draw either way. Like I know people had it was very mixed about the finale, but there is a huge draw for it, and those houses always have long lines. So, yeah, this one's given as well, but maybe for the final time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we actually are going to move on. We don't need to spend time on that. 24B. We have, again, a previously seen image, which is going to be like basically a set of makeup. It looks like mascara, lipstick, uh, something else, and scissors.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. And the lipstick has like a hazard logo on it, like a hazardous waste logo.
Yes. So I know that they spoke about it in the live stream. Is that the BuzzCon logo? I don't
I
know.
don't think it's, yeah, if you zoom in, it doesn't look like the BuzzCon logo. However, people are definitely implying that's what it means.
Sure, sure. Something along those lines, though, of like, toxic cosmetics. I know Jess really wants the vanity ball, which would be pretty fun, in my opinion. But yeah, it's something toxic cosmetics, something along the lines of like maybe what we saw even in the weekend and in the first house. Something along those lines for sure. It is giving the substance. I don't think it's that specifically, obviously. I'm sure that's been talked about before. But something along those lines where it's like beauty and messed up surgeries and all that jazz.
I want to say Legacy has also directly kind of related this to the substance, but not like the IP, but like an original take on that kind of story.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Which could make a ton of sense if you also just include BuzzCon as well. So
right.
And I think it would be a lot of fun in an anniversary year to bring back BuzzCon and like give it its own house, but an entirely new story. So I'd be into that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And as I said, this is in Soundstage 24B. This originally was listed in Sprung Tent 1. I will say this feels more like a house that would be a Sprung Tent. So very interesting that it moved.
Yeah, and it'll be, I mean, it's curious to see if maybe Stranger Things will take up a bigger footprint and they'll shrink down 24B to fit 24A, or if they're just going to use kind of the spaces they've used before. But you're right, it is an interesting spot to put something like this that is usually reserved, I feel like, for bigger production houses. So maybe we will see, super involved sets and whatever this is. So that could be pretty exciting.
Yep, definitely. So let's move on again to another repeated image. This is actually in the same exact location it was in the previous map. It's Soundstage 23A, and we have the burning book. Some people specifically say it's a burning Bible. I don't think it specifically states it is, but yeah, it could mean that.
Sure.
This has now been rumored as well as Evil Dead Burn.
Which, again, does make sense with the presence of Evil Dead in the parks or at the event in the past. We still don't know jack about this movie. We don't know anything at all. So it'll be fascinating to see. And it's going to come out, I believe, in August. Evil Dead Burns.
I believe
so. It comes out before the event. So it's interesting that they're kind of taking a bet. If this ends up being Evil Dead Burns, they're taking a bet on it at least having some sort of draw. Again, with the general audiences at this point knowing absolutely nothing about it.
So it releases July 24th. So
July. Wow.
Just over a month before the event starts. So enough time for people to kind of watch it, but it should still be in theaters by the time the event kicks off. Barely, but still in theaters.
Sure.
This is just one of those ones outside of the spec map you really don't hear it talked about. It makes sense, and I don't necessarily not want it. Like, I think it could be potentially good. Like you said, we just don't know much about it yet. We don't have a proper trailer. We barely have a proper teaser for this. So yeah, I don't. Would I hope this turns into something else? Maybe a little bit.
But it does keep coming back, so that's interesting.
It does. I hope we're all just like wrong.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what are you talking about? It means something else.
Right, right.
Or they're just wrong. That too. Either one. And And I believe that leads us here to our last kind of repeated logo. But the logo changed a bit because it was previously the Jack in the Box and Clown, and now it is literally just Jack and Oddfellow Chaos and Control key art. Because obviously this has been announced. It was rumored to be in Soundstage 22, and we've seen from kind of the subtle leaks from Universal themselves in URLs that this is in Soundstage 22. So
Right.
this should be where it was. It makes a ton of sense the way the house is set up, that when you exit, they say you are kind of entering the infernal carnival of nightmares. So jumping out right from the center of the park, or kind of, you know, the main stretch of the event, makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a house that I'm super excited for. What they revealed already has me super hyped, and I really loved seeing how hyped the audience was at the con when both Jack and Oddfellow came out and when the announcement was made. So I love that they're revisiting these two characters for an anniversary event, and it's fun to hear Jack talk about Oddfellow, even in Las Vegas, even at Horror Unleashed. People are asking him about it, and he's got good reactions about it. I even got one before this house was released or announced or theorized at all.
Oh,
I was wearing my Oddfellow shirt, where it's him on the back, and we can cuss on this show, right? Right, Duff? I always forget.
is that even a question?
Well, so I'm wearing my Oddfellow shirt. I'm taking a picture with Jack and Chance, and Jack goes like, "Hey, Chance, look at this guy's shirt," and then he like leans into my ear like right before the picture's taken, and he goes, "Fuck that guy," and I was like, "Oh, Jack."
Spicy Jack.
Spicy. So this one has me so excited for them to build on the lore of both Jack and Oddfellow and their history together. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, I don't have much more because we've done a whole episode about this one. Very excited, very excited. But we do have one more house to cover, and this is a completely new logo on this spec map. And it's basically just the rocker hand sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the two fingers and thumb up. Not that two fingers and thumb up, the rocker.
Jess pointed it out on the live stream. This is technically the sign language for "I love you," and not the rock and roll.
That is also, yeah, that's true.
So an "I love you, man" house. Very excited about it. Love the movie. Happy to see what they do with it.
Can't wait. But this also does kind of tie directly into the Ozzy Osbourne rumor. So, yeah, that's what people are rolling with.
Yeah, and it's kind of exciting. I think it's funny that there's been some sort of tie-in to a musician from the start, really. I think, there's been that's been kind of floating around. Ozzy makes sense. Also, like, it's kind of odd to do it right after his passing and not when he was still around. But technically, Horror Nights Hollywood got Black Sabbath 13, which was a really fun house that I didn't get to see. I was there that year, and I decided to skip it because I was like, I don't even listen to Black Sabbath. And it turns out that it was one of the better houses that season. Did you guys get a Black Sabbath at all in Orlando?
Nope.
Fascinating. Nope. Wow. Okay. So then, yeah, this one's interesting. And that even leads me to believe maybe this was a Hollywood deal that kind of bled into both coasts, which is a rarity. But it happens. It happens. I mean, technically, I guess the Titans of Terror were when they did the Carnival of Carnage was a Hollywood deal that kind of bled into Orlando, allegedly. But yeah, this has got me curious. It could be fun.
Yeah, no, I think the imagery could be there for sure. The music could work really well with the house. I do think the timing's a little weird.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a little weird. I think this is still like a mourning process time, not a let's make a haunted house about him time.
Exactly. And again, to not do it when he was still around is odd too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like, especially in like Orlando, they feel a bit more aware about these kind of things. Where I think the PR there could be some bad PR. basically, about this, about like
Yeah.
trying to profit off a guy who just passed away.
Or if
Uh,
any scene is like misinterpreted or taken the wrong way, yeah, I can definitely see
mhm,
this kind of ruffling some feathers potentially. So they'll have to be very careful with it. I'm sure they know, but they'll have to be very careful with it.
mhm. And outside of that, I feel like there's like one or two on every spec map that we talk about, or every year for the spec maps that we talk about. That's kind of like it just kind of changes a lot, and it's never even consistent. So, is there anything to this, or they just either don't know what it is and tossing something out there, or maybe restraining what it possibly is? If I had to pick one on this spec map, I think it's this one, and I
Sure,
don't think we get
sure.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, it just does seem like a really odd choice. It does seem like, but again, with the relationship that Murdy has with a lot of these rock musicians, and that HHN Hollywood has,
Hmm.
I don't know. I could see it happening. I could see it happening for sure. But yeah, I agree. If there was anyone that I would want to change, it would be this one. And it's interesting that it's shared on both coasts.
Yes, yes. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, on the next spec map, more clarity at the very least, or maybe some other rumor, or this rumor will pop up stronger.
Yeah.
Because outside of the spec maps, the rumor hasn't really been there at all. So
Right. Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But that is it for the 10 houses. However, we did get symbols for literally everything else. The street experiences, the scare zones, the shows, they all have some sort of image to represent them. So we have everything to talk about. This is great.
Yeah. Pretty fun, man.
So let's start with the scare zones. I think that's the easiest. And we can head right up to the front of the park here, our entrance zone. And it's just kind of like a carnival tent, which it's probably the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares, I'd assume.
Makes sense.
If we can get a little Jack and Oddfellow action directly in here, that'd be great with them on live
Ooh.
mics. Maybe.
Yes. Especially for like an opening ceremony, which I'm
Hmm.
realizing now. In all the years that I've gone, I don't think I've ever really caught an opening ceremony.
Oh, never
Um,
really. I mean,
Yeah,
to be
because I'm
fair, I don't
usually
catch
like
most either.
already in the park, or I'm like there just past opening. So I think
Yeah.
this will be a year where I'll definitely have to at least camp out once to see it.
Oof. I always say I'm going to do that, and then I never do. So,
maybe this will be the year that I convince you, Duff.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I like being in the park. But yeah, I think that seems pretty straightforward what they're going for.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Easy. Now let's hop over to New York, where it's kind of an evil clown.
Yeah, generic evil
Yeah.
clown.
It is not IP, it is just a clown who looks evil.
Yeah,
Clowns.
with a Z.
No, not here.
But yeah, again, it does seem like it makes a little bit of sense with them leaning into kind of the carnival circus aspect with both Jack and Oddfellow.
Mhm.
But yeah, like what's the story here?
Exactly. Exactly. There has been that past rumor of Killer Clowns, the IP,
Right.
um, being featured as a scare zone in Orlando. This would be the closest symbol to match up with that, but it would feel strange for them just to do it like this by showing a generic clown.
Right, right. But you know,
So
it could be
I
fun to
don't know.
give the Killer Clowns more a bigger area to play in. You know, I remember experiencing the first one, and is it called Sting Alley? Right? Is that where that was?
No, it's technically outside of Sting Alley, but
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha, gotcha.
right
But yeah,
outside.
right, right. You know, it was small, it was fun. So I guess the Orlando fan in me would be pretty excited to see them have a little bit more space to roam around in. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's still odd to just kind of stick them in a scare zone and just be like, "Hey, the killer clowns are here. Okay, bye."
Yeah, it would be. I also don't know how you give them. I mean, I guess you could, but you'd have to kind of build out. Is it called Crescent Cove? Right? Is
Yes,
that
yeah,
the
Crescent
town?
Cove.
Right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could build it out a bit, maybe, and that'd be kind of cool.
Sure, sure.
But I don't know if I see them doing
Right. But hey, I mean, it does seem like Hollywood secured the rights, so
that. That is true. That is true. But last time they secured the rights, it didn't mean anything for Orlando. So
well, that's a good point.
I don't know. I also don't want it to just be generic clowns to fit in with the carnival theme either.
Yeah, it would have to tie into Jack somehow, like
Yeah.
somehow, right? Like there would have to be some story element there to make it interesting. And but it is, you know, we'll get into this when we go to the Hollywood section. But it is interesting that this is the same symbol that they have for the Terror Tram,
Hmm.
and it does seem like kind of specific, but not. So it's just weird to me. It's very weird to me.
It is strange. Huh. I guess we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because the Hollywood one also includes something else.
Yes.
So let's wrap around now, and we're going to find ourselves over in Central Park where we have everyone's favorite, a banana for a Minions zone. Of course, this is actually leaning into the Fortnite zone rumor, I would say.
Yeah, the Fortnightmares, which is again such an interesting crossover, especially during an anniversary year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked it in the past where they've kind of tied all the scare zones together a little bit, at least story wise. So to stick Fortnightmares anywhere this year seems just so random.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like, if you want to shove just a random IP into the event, okay, I can live with it being a scare zone. But when there's only 4 scare zones during an anniversary year,
Yeah, do it
the-
in 36, man. Do it in
yeah,
36 or
exactly.
any of those years. It's not an anniversary year.
And like, especially seeing what they did in Central Park last year with Cat Lady,
Oh God,
they built it
yes.
out so beautifully. It told an amazing story, even if my co-hosts don't agree. Um, I thought that's
Haters,
some of the
haters.
best work they've done in a while in a scare zone. And now they're like, what if they gritty instead?
Yeah, man, it's an odd follow up to what is easily a top 5 scare zone for me in Orlando, if not number 1. I don't know.
Wow,
It's up
wow,
there.
look
It's
at
up
that.
there.
Yeah, it feels like they've struggled with Central Park for several years, and they finally got back to making it work well. And it's like, yeah, well, throw that out the window.
Well,
I
never mind.
I do understand. So if we look at the way it's laid out, right? Like, actually, let me just bring it up now. Hollywood, 35 years. It just says 35 years. So anniversary zone of some sort, right? So the
Right.
way of it laid out, basically connecting the entire front half of the park is just scare zones somehow tying into this year's event. And
Right.
Central Park would kind of be the only one that's off on its own where you could stick a random IP, right? So I understand why
Sure.
it would get placed there. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Uh,
And again, just a fascinating tie-in. I get that Fortnite is so hot right now, but
yeah. And I get the people like, trust the process or whatever. And like, but sometimes there's just going to be things I'm not excited for. And I don't want to be right. I want them to prove me wrong. That'd be
right, right,
phenomenal.
yeah,
I don't, I can't imagine any way to execute this in a fashion that I'm going to be like, yeah, that was enjoyable.
exactly.
Because it's just not something like if you have a huge attachment to Fortnite, maybe you'll like it no matter what. Like, right? It'll work for you. Or maybe for some people who just like it's a fun little zone to like take photos and dance around. Sure, whatever. Otherwise, what do? They like walk
Right.
around shooting each other, which they don't do guns. Like HHN Orlando doesn't use guns; they
Oh,
avoid
sure,
them.
sure.
So what do?
Yeah, just literally emote, just aura farm and emote, and that's it.
And I've seen a lot of people say like this is probably just like a loophole to get a bunch of IPs that they don't want to acquire separately. Like, listen, I'm not a lawyer, but that's not how it works.
No, no, yeah,
Just because Fortnite has the video game rights to, let's say, Terrifier, they might actually acquire Terrifier. So, bad example, Ghostface. That's a
right,
better
right.
example. Just because they have the video game rights to use him doesn't mean they can then lease out those rights to use in a haunt.
Right. Yeah. No, Epic pays millions for these IPs, millions. And so
Yes.
they're not going to just be able to be like, okay, well, hey, we'll just let Orlando use them for free or whatever, or for a discount price. Like, no way. These are going to be all of the either the universal tied IPs that they have, or all the original Fortnite Ford Nightmares characters, because there's no way that they're going to cross over IPs at all.
Mm-hmm. And made to my previous comment, like maybe they do just go grab art because they'd rather have art in the park still. So they're like, well, yeah, we'll also get the rights to art for this.
Right.
But they don't just automatically get that whole catalog of characters.
No.
That's not how it works, guys. Sorry. Watch it be the whole catalog of IPs still.
That would be hilarious.
It's like, oh, yep, 365 is done. Sorry.
If this year any of the houses are lower in quality, it's going to be because of this zone specifically.
Yes.
Like if there's a sudden drop in house quality, it's going to be because of Fort Nightmares specifically.
How much did the rights to this cost? $25 million. Cool. Great.
Great. House budgets are now $20,000 a piece.
All right, let's move over to Hollywood again, where we have 35 years, obviously alluding to an anniversary zone of some sort. It's the 35th anniversary. At HHN 30, they had 30 years, 30 fears. They did something similar in 25. They did something similar in 20. Like, this is a typical thing for anniversaries. I will say in 20 and 25, it was more based on icons specifically, where in 30, it only had their voices and then kind of random characters.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, which wasn't my favorite.
No.
It wasn't great, even though I don't know a ton of the lore, like the back of my hand. Yeah, no, I just I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a bunch of elevated stages, and like they're going to roll a dice. They're going to roll a d20 and see which characters are going to stick in there.
I hope it's one of two routes. It's either just stick to the icons thing you've done in previous years, or like a full mashup of the best scare zones of the past.
Ooh, that would be fun. That would be cool.
So kind of more lights, camera, HHN-esque, I guess.
Sure.
But just a straight up anniversary zone rather than trying to tie in this really weird story to it.
Yeah, I can see that. By the way, I totally forgot. Graveyard Deadly Unrest is my number one. Now that we're in this zone, I was like, yeah, Nettlewood.
Yeah, of course.
Nettlewood.
Of course.
But yes, I could definitely see that happening, man. Like just focusing on the scare zones of the past. That would be pretty fun.
But we'll see. It could go any kind of anniversary route, but that's obviously what they're implying here. I am happy to say we do have 2 shows on this map as well.
Yeah.
The Lagoon Show is shown as water fountains. So, Lagoon Show, no hint.
I do hope they go the Marathon of Mayhem route and tie in some of the IPs, because what was it called? Hauntophonic?
Yes, a ghoulish journey.
A ghoulish journey. It was fun, but I think if they bring that back specifically, it's gonna be like, okay, let's switch it up a little.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think the only reason we got that last year is because the original ghoulish literally got a 2-week run,
right?
And then a hurricane killed it.
Yeah.
So
right.
I think it just kind of got a second shot, and like the Lagoon Show was just returning, so it was easier just to kind of play off that. I expect we're going to go back to now just getting a new Lagoon Show annually.
Especially if they do tie it into Jack and Oddfellow, like the chaos and the control.
I hope so. I hope so. Because there is a slight rumor out there that I don't think we're going to talk about on the show just yet. It's like kind of brand new and it's very light. So if you know about it, I'll just say I hope it's wrong.
Interesting. Okay.
Moving on.
I think I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Now we're going to head over to the formerly Fear Factor stage, random stage in back of park that has no use except for Horror Nights now, where we have what a lot of people describe as 4 shot glasses.
Okay. Interesting.
Not the case. If you do the research, which took some, I'm not knocking anyone who didn't figure this out. I would not have on my own either. This is actually the exact layout for 4. Why can't I think of what they're called? The blocks. 4 blocks that spelled out Jack for the Jacked Up show in 2000.
Yeah.
Which then HNN also kind of confirmed that's what they were talking about as well. So,
Which
which
I like it. Again,
fuck yeah.
on an anniversary year to have an anniversary show like that, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I can't ask for much more in that spot. And I think, especially if they just want to bring back like the Fuel Girls, fucking show
Right?
them in this
Yeah.
show. This is great because then everyone gets what
Absolutely.
they want. The people who love Fuel Girls, which is a lot of people, still get them. The people who want a more HHN centric show still get that.
Yeah.
Boom! What a win.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect melding of both worlds because I am one of those people that really loves Nightmare Fuel. I love seeing it every year, even if they don't change it up too much. But I think it's the perfect combination of the anniversary aspect and the Nightmare Fuel aspect. You can include the aerialists, you can include the magic, you can include the dance numbers, and you throw Jack in there as a ringmaster, maybe even Oddfellow, and you make it about them. That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would be very excited to see this come true in whatever form, as long as it's like based around the event. Give it to me.
Yes, absolutely.
And actually, we do have a little bit more. We have 4 street experiences to discuss. First of all, Death Eater's Return. Yeah, whatever. But if we head over to Springfield, we do have a chainsaw. So implying
Yes.
the return of the roaming chainsaw horde.
Which was a lot of fun to see them back. A lot of
Yes.
good, fun, viral moments from them. And it is one of those zones that always felt empty without something at least. So I think having the chainsaw horde there really added a fun element to keep people on their toes throughout the event. There really isn't like a ton of rest, if you will, from the experience itself. Although I know some people definitely want that, and I definitely I get it for sure. But just from an event synergy or an event flow standpoint, I think it's great to have them there.
There's also other places to rest. It only takes up one small space.
True, it is a very large park, so there are definitely a lot of places to just go hang out for a little bit.
It's also like the only spot I'm like guaranteed to get a scare per year, which is great. When you
Sure.
walk across that bridge, maybe a couple drinks deep into Springfield, kind of forget they're there and they're just sitting around the wall waiting to fuck you up. At least once a year when they're there, they get me. So thank you. Thank you
Nice.
for existing. But if we hop over to San Francisco, we have what is obviously referring to Club Horror. It's just kind of like a disc and headphones. So
Yay.
I love it. I'm happy for its return. But I hope it gets some sort of real theme. That'd be great. It
Yes,
doesn't have to
yeah.
be like super immersive or anything, but like just a nice little theme.
Something, because last year it did feel just very random. Hey, here's some go-go dancers, and then they're just there vibing. Um, it's fun, I guess, if you want to get down at the event. I do love a dance floor, especially when you're a couple of drinks in. Sure, that's fine. But yes, to your point, tied into the event a little bit more, I think it would be cool, or at least up the club element, so it's not just go-go
Mhm.
dancers. Maybe have some roaming characters there, give it a little bit more story, just to make it feel a little bit more alive.
Mhm. Maybe the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares has like a festival stage.
Sure, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, something. I don't know. And then there is the last one where we're going to head over to Mel's, and we have a roller skate. So obviously implying the Mel's zombies will return, which
Which that
also a very
was,
fun experience.
oh yeah, a great addition to that area. Again, another one of those areas that I felt like always needed something, and that was perfect, man. And also just visually with the die-in sign behind everybody, beautiful, cinematic. I loved it.
Mhm. So hopefully all those return. I need them all back. They're all great in their own right.
Yes.
But just a little bit of plussing on. Well, I guess you don't need to plus the chainsaw horde. Just obviously kind of different theme. It could just be Jack's Maniacs. It makes too much sense.
Oh yeah, that makes
Do it.
sense.
But the other two, a little bit of plussing, and we'll be cooking.
I like it.
So that is everything we have in Orlando on this spec map. Does anything like really stand out to you? Like anything you'd be like super excited about outside of let's take Sinners off. Like outside of like this one specific IP, is there anything that stands out that calls to you?
Yeah, the blood and guts for sure. Again, I love the campiness, or like I love horror and camp, and I think this one it specifically has a lot of potential to do both really well. And again, I love your idea of it tying into the anniversary and like, maybe he's showcasing years of Halloween Horror Nights. But even if not, I love that specifically. And also the cosmetics one has me really intrigued. I think it could be kind of like that would probably be the body horror house, kind of gross. And of course the potential of the farmhouse or cowboy aliens.
Mhm.
Those are pretty interesting to me.
I think when we're talking intrigue, I'm gonna kind of lean into that like makeup setup with you because like
Nice.
these are ones I look at and I can imagine fully. And this one, I'm like, oh, you could go crazy roots with this, and I need to know
Yeah.
more. And if you
Yes,
make it
absolutely.
happen, I'm fucking into it. Also, again, just like Vanity Ball, BuzzCon mashup would also be cool. If they want to do
Hell
that.
yeah.
No issues here.
I love it.
But I gotta say, this lineup looks pretty fucking solid overall. If you take out
Yeah.
Central Park.
Yeah, not bad at all, man. Not bad at all.
So with that, I guess we'll move on over to Hollywood, where shockingly we are going to talk about some of the same things. Actually, one, two, three, four, five, six of the same things is what it is. It's how it works now. Let's start up. What fucking space is that? Is that UES? Is that what it's labeled?
Oh yeah, what
I just realized that.
UES?
That's the like where Jurassic Park experience for
Oh,
FanFest nights is.
you're
I didn't
right.
realize they actually labeled it that way on the spec map. Oh.
Universal Event Space, maybe, or
Yes, I believe that's what it's called. So this, if you don't know, was kind of rumored to be built as like a full time, almost like sprung tent for events such as FanFest nights and Halloween Horror Nights at Hollywood. Obviously, that did not happen, and they built an outdoor space for a Jurassic Park experience.
and I done
Uh,
told y'all, man. I done told y'all. Like it's a great space for that, but they used it so effectively for the queue, unfortunately, that yeah, I think this one they definitely got wrong because they don't have the Jurassic World queue listed on this at all. I think instead of that
yes,
event space,
it
this will
is
probably
Jurassic World Q.
be yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we have now physically seen that rise, so I think we can safely say what has risen is going to happen over what currently has something else sitting in its space.
Exactly, yeah.
But anyways, what they do have listed as UES is going to be that rocker hand or "I love you" in sign language if you want to go that route. So obviously, leaning back into the Ozzy Osbourne,
Indeed.
which again, going to the Hollywood spectrum, I think makes a ton more sense at the end of the day. Hollywood kind of goes this route a bit more. Um, does that make it more likely here? I don't know. Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Again, this is the one that's kind of up in the air. Although I have heard from some sources that I know that the name Ozzy Osbourne has been dropped. Like they actually have said it, and that has me very intrigued to see if it actually plays out that way.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. So let's move on now. Actually, let's just go around the map on this one because I want to talk about something different, but only kind of different. Where we're going to head to T-Pad, and it kind of has same thing as they did on the last spec map, but something that was also in Orlando, and that's the Jack in the Box with like the elf.
Right.
Um, that is still here in Hollywood. Obviously, in Orlando, that has been announced. Jack Nodfellow, Chaos and Control. That's not in Hollywood. So, still insinuating we're going to get something similar?
Right. And this is the spot where we very clearly saw the tent for Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes.
So at least HN Nightmares still believes that perhaps this will be based on Jack or yeah, Jack versus Harry, which
Mhm.
again was teased at Midsummer Scream in a very John Murdy way. So that is the only thing that lends credence to the theory that perhaps they are using the circus tent not for killer clowns. But again, Kevin, don't come after me. Don't come after me. Um, but yeah, I think I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see if this plays out to actually be killer clowns from outer space. I know that Kevin's got some evidence there. And listen, I do trust Kevin's insight and his crazy eye for this kind of stuff. But yeah, this one in particular, it still has me confused that they are theorizing it's going to be Jack versus Harry. However, I know that HN Nightmares does have insiders for Hollywood, but they're maybe not as great as the ones they have in Orlando.
Mhm.
As in years prior, things have shifted location wise, quite drastically.
Yes, these spec maps are a lot of fun, and they typically do have a pretty good hit percentage. But that's more Orlando,
Yeah.
Hollywood. That percentage drops a bit. They're not bad, but
No,
they're not
no.
as accurate. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I will say the spec map came out, I think, right before the tent rose for Killer Clowns. So,
Yes, correct. Yeah.
it'd be one thing if they dropped it after that happened, but they did. So I'm
Right.
curious to see if this is just Killer Clowns on the next spec map.
Yes.
We'll
Which
see.
would be, listen, it would be kind of a waste to not do the Jack versus Harry thing. I get it. I get why he wouldn't go that route. But then why say it at Midsummer Scream and get us all hyped for it, man? Come on.
Yeah. Also very John Murray of him, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's true.
Tease something that's not happening.
Yeah.
I guess we only sort of talked about this, so let's just a slight more detail. Killer Clowns returning for a third time in 7 years.
Ugh.
A level of, I'll use the word excitement for you.
None. In
That's a
in
zero.
in the dirt. Zero. Yeah, absolutely. Because we've already seen it. And listen, it wasn't like the most exciting house. The first time it was fun. Then the second time to do it exactly the same way and
Hey,
to
hey,
have it
hey.
come.
Laid out a little bit different. Don't
Okay.
forget. Don't
Okay.
forget. And I think one
Sorry.
additional scare actor was the way it was
Wow.
said.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. But then to have it return potentially the third time and exactly in the same way that we saw it, recently. What a bore, man. Come on. Give us something else. Anything. Like, again, even Dead Exposure, which I know it wasn't Orlando's Dead Exposure at all, but to me, it was a fun house and like it actually
Mhm.
looked pretty damn good. Go that route a little bit more. Do something fucking original, please, for the
Or just
love of
go
Christ.
further out, maybe. Just
Yeah,
reach a little
yeah,
bit further into
sure, I
your
guess. Or
collection.
change it up, like truly change it up. Give it the Legacy of Leatherface treatment or the Jason Universe treatment where it's an original take on the IP at least, but the fucking copy and paste the same damn treatment and the same maze layout, please.
Mhm.
Come on, man.
Speaking of Legacy of Leatherface, it has also been rumored that this is actually a last minute replacement for a dropped IP, which would have been a Legacy of Leatherface style Halloween house. So Michael
Yeah.
Myers getting that kind of treatment.
I don't buy it. I at least one of the sources of that rumor has been very inconsistent. I don't know if they were reporting on somebody else's rumor, but either way, come on, give us something else, man.
Well, I don't think we're in luck there, John. Sorry.
I'll write you a
Uh,
treatment right now, Murdy. Give me like 6 hours in a Monster Energy drink, and I'll knock it out, dude.
I don't think Soundstage 15 is going to excite you too much more, as it is also the upside down grandfather clock,
Yep.
Stranger Things, of course,
Yep.
which we fully believe is coming to the event. Soundstage 15, hopefully that means it gets a bit more attention and love, and they use the space well. It's giving it a nice space to work with, that's for sure.
I mean, I'll give them this much. The last Stranger Things house in that space, I did enjoy. I thought they did a pretty, except for that desert scene, which woof. For the most part, I do think they put a good amount of effort into it. There was still some changes that I would have liked to have seen. But I did think they did a good job with it. So I guess it's a good spot for it. I guess it's a great space for it.
Mhm.
But yeah, the IP itself, it needs to go away. And this is speaking as a Stranger Things fan and as somebody who didn't really even hate the final season. I think I really hope that this is the final year because I mean, God, dude, you can only experience that so many times before just like really rolling your eyes.
Mhm. And then we're going to head down to a Mummy Q location where we have the roast beast with the pins, Pinhead, which of course means Hellraiser.
Yes, and it'll be interesting to see when construction for this one begins, because I feel like in years prior, this one would pop up pretty early on in the construction season.
Mhm.
However, I think because of FanFest nights, we won't be able to see anything for this until after FanFest nights. I don't know. Maybe they'll start putting a tent up down there. Maybe they'll get ballsy about it. But I have a feeling that the efforts that usually go into Mummy right now in the timeline are going over to the UBE venue,
Mhm.
because I don't think anything is happening there for FanFest nights at all. At least nothing that they've announced just yet, which means they can already be potentially starting construction in there for Horror Nights.
Makes a ton of sense. I'm very curious what that would mean for a potential facade for Hellraiser because recently they've used that more like a, a facade with depth in this location. You know, like it's
Yes.
not just a facade. You actually walk through some a set piece first before you go through.
Right,
So I
right.
wonder what that would mean for Hellraiser. I'm very curious.
Yeah, man.
Or if they
Yeah.
just don't do that for Hellraiser, I don't
I
know.
mean, this might end up being our flat. This might be one of the facades that is just like a Hellraiser poster.
It is possible. We're going to hop over to Prisian Courtyard, where we do have something new for us to talk about today, not necessarily new for Hollywood. And we have the same exact imagery we had before, but now added with a cake.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Which kind of leans into the quinceanera rumor, or Kilsanera, has been previously discussed by John Murdy as one of their
Uh,
past concepts.
Shoot me.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I will take this over just literally continuing Monstros for sure.
Yeah, I guess. For sure. I mean, but listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. As somebody of Mexican heritage, white man, please stop writing our Latin houses, man. Like, come on. And then also for it to be like a quinceañera, whatever. Like, honestly, instead of a quinceañera, I can't even say it. Instead of that, I would have much rather had chupacabra in this spot. Like just transplant that, and give us something like that here, or I don't know, explore any other culture. Like if you want this to be the culture zone, great. Or even bring back something Universal Monsters, great. Uh, it's a cheeky concept, but I swear to God, if this quinceañera ends up in ends with La Llorona in the same spot as the years before, I am gonna burn it down myself. For legal reasons, this is a joke. But damn it, dude! Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think many people want this, right? Like, change it up.
No,
Uh,
no.
the potential good news, there was a single Murray tweet I didn't include because it was just a single Murray tweet, and I thought it would fit better here. Is that he is currently in Japan. That doesn't actually have anything to do with it, but maybe it does. He said before this trip that he had done some research on a different culture for next year. So
Interesting.
maybe next year this finally goes a different direction. Maybe Japanese
Sure. I mean,
mythology.
yeah, Spirits and Demons of the East we had as a
Mhm.
scare zone, and that was a big hit. I really enjoyed that scare zone. I mean, hell, we even had there was a while there where Hollywood scare zones were becoming houses. Down
Yep.
in the Metro lot, they had All Hallows Evil, which was
Mhm.
very Halloween, very witchy. That's one that could have fit in this spot very easily. The fact that it's become kind of like the token Latin American spot just rubs me in the worst way, because, like, yeah, last year's Monsters House was fun, but God, give it a break, brother.
Yeah, I kind of prefer it when it was running as just like the Universal Monsters space.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that, we'll move on now to UBE, which is going to be the lighter and cigarettes for sinners, of course.
Which would be an excellent spot for a Sinner's uh, house, I think, using the UBE to its full advantage, it being a controlled environment. I think they could do a lot of cool stuff. However, that would mean that we wouldn't really, I don't think, get any sort of facade. which kind of
Mhm.
sucks. Because like I would hope that Orlando would build the juke joint facade outside of the sprung tent. If this does end up being in UBE, that definitely lessens the chances of us getting any sort of facade. Maybe a facade within the space, but even then, they usually in years prior have just kind of shoved us into the first scene and kind of
Mhm.
put a poster up or whatever, or even in Evil Dead, they had an opening moment, but then you're just right into the maze itself or into the house itself. So I think that would be a loss. However, I do think that it's a great space for Sinners, and yeah, if it's going to go anywhere, it's somewhere like a soundstage would be great.
So I will say I don't hate this location at all. Again, because it's this enclosed space
Yeah.
that they have full control over the elements and can do whatever they want, right? Also, I think it is spacious enough where they can have a mid-house facade, and I
Yes. Yeah.
think honestly, Sinners could lend itself well to a cold open
Sure. Sure. I mean,
because
especially
I
if you.
think no, go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One of the discussions that have come about it is like, what do you do? You're all in the juke joint the entire time. I'm like, nay, nay. Not everything is going to be large scale, but you can basically choose any other scene to step into by
Yeah.
just stepping into it immediately,
Right. Right. You can
and then
start us in the
find your way to
forest.
the juke joint.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You can see the vampire eyes in the forest. You can
Hmm.
start us at Remic's little dance number. Yeah, and then we find our way into the juke joint, and they have done like a mid house facade in here before. um like A Quiet Place had the farmhouse that you walk
That
into,
is
which I thought
true.
was
Yeah, that's
excellent.
true.
So yeah, it's definitely, or even when Fallout was here, when we had the what is it, the mart, the whatever mart,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the cookie mart.
Yeah. Um,
uh yeah, that one.
oh, hmm,
Omega Mart, no,
no.
whatever it is, the market, when you would walk into that, that was essentially like a third act facade. So there is potential there for sure.
I guess we have fully moved on to 2026 now because gone. That is gone out of my mind. Now I'm frustrated.
I'm looking it up because I am frustrated too.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah, no
appreciate
problem.
that.
I'll find it right now.
Real quick, while you're looking that up, I can quickly mention Purge Dangerous Waters. It's a jet ski with a bloody handprint on it.
I love
It's
the
going to
show.
return. It's a great show. It's a great show. This is the fourth year it would be, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Super Duper Mart. That's what it's called.
Super duper
Super
Mark.
Duper Mart.
Super.
Super. Kimberly Duncan, rest in peace. Yeah, I like Dangerous Waters, and listen, I will say this every single year. I love that they're using this space for FanFest nights. I love that they're using it for horror nights, because every time that they use this venue, it means that Waterworld lives on, the number one rated theme park show in the world. Keep it alive, you bastards! Don't touch it.
Yeah, that. What he said.
Keep using it.
Yeah, always use the space. That's all I'll say. If you want to change it up a little bit, I won't argue, but change.
Sure, sure.
Use the space, please. H lot South, John. What the fuck is this?
I don't know, man. I tried to look up like Killer Clown's characters. I tried to look up like Killer Clown's baby.
Mhm.
I don't know what the hell this is. It's an alien, I think.
But it has like pigtails.
Yeah, like baby aliens. I have no freaking clue, dude. I really don't. I mean, yeah, what the hell is it?
I don't know, man. I don't. I don't know.
Has the has the horror fam speculated anything specific in the Discord or anything about
Honestly, I
this?
think it's basically gone to Killer Clowns, but that has more to do with Kevin's theory and trying to make that work. Even though
Yeah, because like,
this would technically be the wrong location because that's in T-pad,
right.
but I think that's the connection that they're trying to make because otherwise, what is this?
But it's a weird one to use for Killer Clowns because there's not a clown that looks like that.
No, I don't. I mean, I have nothing. It's very alien esque,
Yeah.
but also baby esque. Like
Right.
it looks like Boo from Monsters Inc., but it's kind of an alien.
Sure.
Or well, it's fully an alien that kind of looks like Boo, I should say.
Yeah, man. And I've tried searching three-eyed baby alien and it brings up some weird shit that doesn't lead me
Oh,
anywhere specific.
I'll stay away from that search.
Yeah, don't do it. I don't recommend it. So I really don't understand what it is, man. And if it does end up being killer clowns, I guess cool, but yeah, this one has me so puzzled, dude, cuz like what?
Yeah. I I wish I had more to say, but I literally don't know what the fuck this is. So H Lot North, where we have a burning book. At least we know what this means. Evil Dead Burn.
Yeah, Evil Dead Burn. Interesting to have it in the H lot.
Hmm.
But cool, sick, dope. I like it.
Sure. Yeah. Again, I think it's property that can work. We just don't know a ton about the property yet because, well,
Yeah.
they haven't released much about it.
Right, right.
But I love an Evil Dead film, so
Yeah,
I
I do too.
believe.
And again, if they give it the legacy treatment or the Jason Universe treatment, cool, fantastic. Oh yeah,
And
because
that
even the
oh,
baby
good.
alien from Men in Black has two eyes. I thought maybe some Men in Black action at Horror Nights. I don't know what that
Oh, I
is, Dove.
fucking wish. Well, I guess we'll find out, or it'll just quietly disappear, and we'll never find out.
Indeed.
I'm gonna have to send him a DM, and be like, "What the fuck is this? What does this mean?"
Please help. Please help me. What is it?
Um, so that leaves us with one last house slash tram. So the Terror Tram, obviously, where we do once again have that's just generic evil clown that we saw on the Orlando map as a house, but also some very familiar looking trash bags, which last
Yep.
year were representing Terrifier. And this
I
is
guess
something we've talked about for a bit where we're like, you know what? If you want to shove art into this event wherever you can and make it work, Terror Tram's kind of fucking cool.
I guess it is worth noting. I forgot to talk about this in the opening section where we were talking about Hollywood. There have
Mm-hmm.
been barrels spotted on the Terror Tram route
Mm.
that do resemble the barrels that they used in the Terrifier house, right? Like I guess it's chlorine or bleach or whatever.
Mm.
Um, and then they also have spotted Christmas trees on the Terror Tram route.
Oh.
So that is definitely leading me to believe
Huh.
that this rumor of the Terrifier Terror Tram is going to be something that does happen for sure. And I think it's a great use of the IP in the Terror Tram itself. However, yeah, the tie-in of that very oddly specific but generic clown that is also on the Orlando map has me very puzzled.
Yeah. I feel like everything about this, they're just trying to say clowns, but
Yeah,
art just
yeah,
happens to be a part of this one.
I guess. Yeah,
I
and,
get,
you know,
he is a clown.
he do be clowning, and I'll be interested to see what the story of this is specifically. If it's not just like, oh, Art the Clown has taken over the Terror Tram, what's gonna happen? And if they include the clowns, then is it like, I don't know, now Art's got like a legion of clowns that he's hired, or
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. I did. I just wish I could understand more about this clown because what it is in Orlando also adds nothing.
Right,
So
right.
I don't know. I don't know.
And
But
the additions
art,
they
cool.
did to the Terror Tram last year for the Blum Tram,
Hmm.
where they built out a little bit more of like show scenes, if you will, to make it feel a little bit more mazy. Um, I do wonder if they are going to completely again kind of ignore the fact that we are at the Bates Motel and try to tie in some story there and then also behind the Bates Motel. Maybe it'll tell us a little bit more about these evil clowns and why they're there and why Art is there as well. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's true. I guess we'll find out. Also, I'd like to point out that this is still very early on these spec maps for either a scare zone or the Terror Tram to be nailed down. So
Sure.
we might not even have to read too much into this clown regardless.
That's true. That's very true.
And then we do have four scare zones listed for Hollywood. Three of those are simply Easter eggs. That is basically saying that they are not giving us a clue for these locations as of now. However, one of them does have a symbol, and you'll never guess it's a crow.
Baby Crow will be back. Edgar and his family will be back.
I don't mind it. I think they're cool. It's fine.
Edgar Allan Crow will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, Murder Crows. Cool.
Fun. Yeah.
Can't complain. I think it's a scare zone that like works enough where I'm fine with it returning.
I do love those silly crows. I love that they've been embraced by the Hollywood crowds. I love seeing them back, and now they're going to have a little bit more room to play in because the construction walls for Fast and Furious will be down, and that space will be wide open again. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if they add a few more set pieces. Last year, they teased that maybe there's going to be more crows. There was a lot of crow eggs.
That is true.
They're adding to their numbers. The crow army grows with every year.
Eventually, there's going to be all 4 scare zones.
Dude, I wouldn't put it past
everywhere.
it.
They take over.
The scare zone that is it's in the Parisian area. I forgot what they call that street. French Street? I think it is French Street. That one will most likely tie into the Kill Siniera theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then the front 2, I don't know, bring anything, water bottles with a Z, and then trucks with a Z, and that's going to be the theme. And that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Murdy's going to look out his window in Ireland and see a tree and be like, "Oh, trees with a Z."
I have an idea.
Yeah. It's going to be trees, and then it's going to be leaves with a Z. And those are going to be the front 2 zones.
You know what? It sounds great. Let's do it. I'm in. I'm sold. But that does wrap up our Hollywood spec map and everything we had to talk about today. So I'll ask you the same thing. Hollywood map. Anything really stand out to you outside of Sinners once again?
The fucking baby alien. What is that? Like, what? Truly, what is that? Come on, like, give me something else here. Or HN Nightmares. Give me a little bit more, please. That one is super intriguing. And again, the thought of it actually happening, a Jack versus Harry house would be a lot of fun. But given Murdy's track record of not really enjoying the Orlando icons, I mean, and being a troll in general, I can see it also not happening. And us just getting killer clowns for the 3rd time. Fun. But yeah, the clown, the little baby alien, what is it?
Yeah, I got to side with you there. It's the baby alien. The others, like, a lot of them obviously share with Orlando. We kind of have an idea. One of them, I think, is probably just outdated and wrong. What the fuck is that?
What is that?
I don't know what it is at all. And I'm so curious. I kind of want like a tattoo of it.
I can see that. On the left butt cheek.
When someone asks in 30 years what it is, I'll say, I don't remember. I don't fucking know.
I got it in Hollywood, man. I don't know. On Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's all we have for today, I believe. Yeah, that's it. Other than that, we're kind of going to be waiting for kind of more rumors to pop up or become more concrete, more construction being visible in Hollywood, because in Orlando, we got a while. We have about 2 months until we see lighting fixtures pop up. So, yeah.
But hey, it's all coming together on both coasts, man, and I love to see it. I love to hear it, and I can't. This is my favorite season is spec season because the possibilities, the changes, the plot twists. Boy, do I love doing this.
That was very content creator of you. My favorite season is Halloween Horror Nights, but that's fine. You can enjoy this more if you'd like.
All right.
Hey, we should also be pretty close to an announcement too. I gotta say.
Oh, that's true.
With Epic now out of the picture, we don't have to worry about that for a big IP drop. I think FanFest Night's on its 2nd year, probably doesn't have to take up as much of the push during its short run.
Right.
I think maybe, probably within, I guess a month. I'll be a little shying about it, but a month. I think we get an IP announcement.
Very fair.
Which Sinners maybe?
Oh, dude, if they lead the charge with that, bro, ooh, it's gonna break the
I could
internet.
see it. It feels
Oh,
like one of those like pop off the announcement season kind of announcements.
yes, absolutely.
And then they close with Stranger Things and we go, oh, damn.
Although I could also see them lead the charge with Stranger Things. Unfortunately, I could definitely
Uh,
see that.
maybe. Ugh. Oh well, I'm buying my ticket regardless. It's not for me.
Yeah, I'll be there either way.
Who cares? All right, well we're gonna wrap up this episode then. John, if you want to kind of plug everything once again so people know where to find you.
Yeah, absolutely. YouTube.com/the Hauntline, at the Hauntline on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok. Sorry, I don't post there. And yeah, we're going to be hopefully ramping up our live stream action here soon, especially now that we have a lot of construction going on in the park. And you should be seeing a lot of updates from us. And then also follow the homies at TLEV Media. Mr. E is out there quite often getting updates. And yeah, shout out to the Horror Connection, Entertainment Connection, the homie Nico.
Follow everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody that should be credited for finding breaking news on posts.
Because not everyone does.
Because not everyone does. But we do all the legwork for them and they get all the views. So great.
Man, why don't we use that model? What's wrong with us? It's that easy. Damn.
Ugh.
Oh well. Well, John, always a pleasure. Appreciate you being back. I'm sure you'll be back on a podcast episode here or there before the season kicks off as well. So we got to talk
Absolutely.
more Hollywood with you.
Yeah, man. Hooray for Hollywood. I'm always around and I love talking HHN with y'all. You guys are the best.
Oh, thanks. And if you do want to follow us on social media as well, that's Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at HHN365, our TikTok at HHN365pod. Join our Discord and discuss HHN and other haunts with us year round. That link is in the description for you. Our merch shop at HHN365.com. And if you want to leave a voicemail that will play here on the show, the number is 407-906-4134. And that is all for this week. We'll see you in the streets.